Hello, everybody. This is Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks lunchtime streaming show, where we watch old 16mm films. And I'm not in the studio, the archive today, and I'll let you know why soonish. But yeah, so I got some films lined up. Some of these are ones that we've seen before. Most of them are, but that's okay. It's been at least a year since I've shown some of them. More than a year, and for most of them. A lot of these, the first year that I was doing this show, I showed a lot. I showed like 2 hours. I would do 2-hour shows that were epic. And so I showed just a bunch of stuff. So here is not Winter Storms, but an awesome film called Teeth.
Why not?
Why not? Teeth are very much a part of the picture. After all, they're good for smiling,
For singing.
For looking best and for looking at.
Certainly for eating.
we need them, use them, look best with them, like to look at them. But not everybody has teeth.
Babies don't.
They don't need them yet.
Soon they do. First teeth. Then first lessons in brushing teeth. Later, the dental gap precedes the generation gap with freckles and pigtails. Second teeth replace first teeth. Sometimes, to keep the space for second teeth, when first teeth are lost too early, her family dentist might temporarily fill the gap with a space maintainer. Lack of care of first teeth could result in second teeth coming in crowded or uneven. If so, orthodontic treatment will bring them into proper functional relationship for speaking, eating, and looking healthy, a part of the early teen picture. It's well worth it later when she and her dentist see the results. A functional dental structure, and with good care, healthy gums and teeth. And that's why almost everybody on the young side of the generation gap should have all his or her teeth. But that was not always true. Prehistoric man lived a hard, short life. Housing was inadequate by today's standards, to say the least. Food was hard to come by. Fierce beasts roamed fields and forests to be hunted barehanded or with primitive weapons. A hard life. With coarse food, primitive man often had good teeth, but poor gums. Pity the Stone Age man or woman with a dental problem. Even in recent cultures, loss of teeth remained an expected and accepted part of aging. You couldn't trust a man over 30 to have all his teeth. George Washington, by middle age, had none. He wore spring-loaded wood or ivory dentures and a pained expression. Imagine Valley Forge and a sore mouth, too. More recently, on our western frontier, the traveling dentist extracted teeth, but he did little about saving teeth. His claim of painless extraction was somewhat exaggerated. But since our frontier days, we've made a lot of progress. Today, we eat too many soft processed foods. Much of our diet is sweet, an ideal environment for producing acids that attack tooth enamel. Without regular and effective brushings, deposits form on teeth. It is during these early years the teeth get a good start or a bad one.
Ho-hum. Now a short pause for the message.
About toothbrushing and proper dental care.
How often have we heard that?
And why not? Because sometimes the message doesn't get through. For example, this one's a good case in point. You wouldn't know it, but he's the school's budding engineer and mechanical genius. He spends every spare daytime hour, all his allowance, and all he can earn on his cream puff dune buggy. Everything that isn't chromed is painted. At the first sign of rust, or before it, he gets out the wire brush and the paint can. That paint job took 18 coats of lacquer, hand rubbed. With 18 coats of lacquer, you take care. A daily polish and dust job keeps it mirror bright.
How often have I told you not to sit on it?
The engine room has all the goodies. Right now, the proud builder and owner is cleaning the carburetor. He knows that in performance and appearance, cleanliness is next to winning prizes.
How many times has the car missed going the distance because of just one speck of dust or dirt?
But for them, the distance is like 72 years. And only one thin layer of tooth enamel which cannot be replaced. For another example, this one doesn't usually make up in a paint job mirror. On her dresser is half a drugstore counter of cosmetics. Getting ready for a date, her hair gets 100 brush strokes, preceded by a wash, cream rinse, and steam set, followed by a thorough inspection. Meanwhile, outside, it's date time. Well, approximately. He can usually figure on doing tomorrow's science assignment. Inside by now, the skin routine. Cleanser, moisturizer, a meticulous makeup routine, all for that natural, casual, unspoiled look.
I'll be right out.
And she will, because it only takes her 10 seconds to brush her teeth. Ambitions. She's going to be an airline hostess, high fashion model, pop singer, actress. So naturally, she thinks of her waistline when she eats. Then just a sip of chocolate malt. That's after brushing her teeth and hours before she will again. Maybe he brushed his teeth after breakfast, but probably before it. Teeth? Care of teeth and gums? Who thinks of that? A dentist does. He prefers the teeth be clean to avoid decay, gum disease, and missing teeth. That's why at the drop of a toothbrush, he'll see that his patients are advised on care of teeth and gums, how to brush and how often.
At least after each meal. Starting on the gums, being sure to brush properly.
That same old message everybody's heard so often. No dentist likes a gap in dental care. Her 10-second brushing is not the fault of her dentist. He certainly told her about tooth decay that can happen even in the loveliest mouth. But the rest is up to her. Like most dentists, he has demonstration models, literature, and posters of all sorts promoting dental health. For the same reason, his office manager keeps files for patient recall. Because all dentists are concerned about dental health in their offices and in their communities. They want their patients to continue to come back with teeth, healthy teeth. The in thing with dentists is keeping teeth in.
Yeah, hey. This is my very good friend, Andrea Grover. And she and her family are visiting us, and the rest of the family might show up at some point.
Wait, maybe right this second.
Yeah.
In
All
a
right.
onesie.
Yeah, so Gigi came through North Carolina last year
2 years
with her, oh, was it 2 years ago?
No. I think so. It was
No, I
summer
feel like it was-
2021.
Oh, boy.
It was last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, 2 years ago.
Whoa.
2021. Yep.
Anyways, so the reason why Andrea is, besides a really good friend, is an important to AV Geeks is that she, through the micro cinema that she founded at Aurora Picture Show in Houston, Texas, she was the first venue that invited AV Geeks out of the state,
Is that right?
yeah, to show films.
Wow.
Like I got this phone call from you,
Yep.
and you were asking about the group that I was part of, the Wiffle Fist. And
That's
you're like,
right.
And you were like, hey, can you come and do something? And I'm like, well, Wiffle Fist kind of broke up because everybody got married and went to grad school. But AV Geeks is still doing stuff. And you're like, oh, yeah, I guess you can bring some old films. So it was phenomenal. It was really an amazing...
What year was that, Skip? Like,
I'm horrible at years. I have no idea.
all
It
right,
was like
so
19...
Aurora started in 98. And I think it was probably 99.
Yeah, that seems
because
about right, yeah.
I met Bill Daniel, who was working with Other Cinema, and
Right.
Craig Baldwin. And Bill was like, man, you got to get Wiffle Fist here. And I was like, yay, great. Give me their number. And I called Skip. And he had very ambitious bandmates who were all off
Yeah.
pursuing other dreams.
Yeah. And so, anyway, so you flew me out there, which was amazing, and
Yeah.
you fed, and we did 3 shows, which was crazy. And Aurora Picture Show was in an old church,
Yep.
and you know, it was a phenomenal experience, and it was packed, and you had curated all these really enthusiastic people, and it was great. And I think we did it once a year from then on.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Every year, always a new theme, and sometimes props and costumes.
Right.
And then eventually different locations, which was really driven by you because you were taking things to site-specific
Right.
places related to the films here in Raleigh.
Right, exactly. And so some of the things we'll be showing today are related to that.
That's right.
And the first show that I did was kind of a best of AV Geeks. And this next film, I played the intro for it, but you couldn't recognize it.
Oh.
But this was a very popular film that you would often cite, and in fact, you actually quoted from last night.
I did? What
Yes.
did I say?
You said, "Alrighty." Do you remember the film?
No.
This is hilarious. All right, here we go. I'm not making this up.
All right.
This is Pamela Wong's Birthday for Grandma.
Oh.
It's Grandma's birthday today. I can't play with anybody. I gotta hurry home and help. I just can't wait for the birthday cake and the party. Grandma's gonna be so surprised. It's a good thing that Grandma doesn't understand English. We can plan a party. Hi, Mom. Hi, Pamela. How's school? Fine. Happy birthday, Grandma.
There's just so much to do before dinner, Pamela. While I work here, why don't you do these errands? Now, I ordered this special birthday cake from Donkey for Grandma. I think it's ready, so first, go to the bakery for Grandma's birthday cake, okay? Be careful, okay? And then go and get 4 bạc toy, ngà toy, and get a little something special for Grandma from you. She'll like that.
Grandma's never had a cake before. She's gonna love it. Isn't that funny? They don't have birthday cakes in China. Let's see now. She came here from Hong Kong about when school started. Hello, Mrs. Wong.
Hi, Kiệt Trinh.
Is Grandma's birthday cake ready yet?
係啦，整好啦，同你整好啦，你等下我又喺後邊攞俾你啦。
Okay, thank you.
Nhìn thấy幾靚，Kiệt Trinh。
Oh, that's pretty.
I wrap it for you. You look around for a couple minutes.
Alrighty.
You have to carry it carefully, Pamela.
That's what my mom said. Hello, Mr. Chow.
Hi, Pamela.
I would
你好
like
啦嘛？
Yeah, I would like those duck and these vegetables.
刮菜喺嗰度。
All these special Chinese food for Grandma's party. What up, bak toy, not toy. All her favorite food. If it was my birthday, I know what I'd have. I'd have watermelon and pizza. It's my grandma's birthday.
Tell her a happy birthday.
Oh my gosh, the cake. special for Grandma. It's Grandma's birthday and I'm doing the errands. I like a little something special for her.
So you don't remember this at all?
No, I remember moments of it, like alrighty, and the cake dropping.
Right. But it's not seared in. I guess I've shown it so many times that it is part of my running subconscious loop.
No, other ones are for sure, but not that one. But I just want to know what would be discussed after the cake fell.
Well, so the question would be, this is a provocative film, so it's designed to encourage discussion. Mm-hmm. And you show it to a bunch of kids, you show it to a bunch of adults, and they're all freaked out because there's no end to it. And they're like, "Oh, what happened? I don't know. I need a neat ending." But kids, it's like this is a leaping off point. So kids, the teacher would show this, and a good teacher would say, "Okay, what do you think happened next? Mm-hmm. What would you do?" And you kind of come up with. They write stories. They talk about it. They begin to start thinking critically about it.
Okay.
And so.
So what kind of class would this be shown in?
This is what we would call language arts, which is early English, where you read things or things are read to you, and then you expound on it and you talk about it. And so I have quite a few provocative films like that adults hate. And that was one of the first films that I showed at Aurora.
So that was a best of AV Geeks, you think?
That was a best of, yes.
Okay, maybe 1999.
Yes.
That's
yes.
what we're thinking. Okay.
Yes. And then we did an AV Geeks Rides Again, or Best of AV Geeks 2 for the second year. We actually went on tour with that. That's
right. We went to Austin.
Right.
San Antonio.
Correct.
Dallas.
Correct.
Did we go to Albuquerque?
We did. Yeah, that was a crazy long trip.
A very long road trip.
And you drove almost the entire way. It was awesome.
And I had autopilot, and I also would cross my legs.
Yeah, we just go, 70 miles an hour with no feet on the floor at all. And
those were the days.
San Antonio was, it was during their, was it Fiesta? What is the name of the celebration? The yearly celebration where it's like downtown is a big party.
Probably something like that.
Yeah, and so 2 people showed up. And then we were like, well, where are we going to stay? Oh, no. And somebody was like, oh, well, we have this kind of artist space that
was
people
terrible.
can stay at. And so we went, and it was this storefront that I guess it was a studio, and there was a bed in it, and the guy's like, well, you can sleep in the bed. And we're like, no. So there was
Well, it was also very dark.
Yes.
Like we
it was,
couldn't, there were just lamps.
Yeah,
There was no
you couldn't really see a whole
a
lot.
lot of lamps.
And so I think you ladies, we had like sleeping bags that we kind of put
Yeah,
on.
so
and,
Edith and I think, slept on a couch.
right. And I slept on the cushions of the
And
couch.
you slept on the cushions of the couch in a sleeping bag on the floor.
Right.
And there was a really sweet cat.
Yes. That
And
kept coming,
pawing you.
kept bugging me.
It was like, you know.
And I was like, oh, maybe it needs to be fed. So I went and kind of fed it. Maybe it needs water. And it periodically would wake me up. And then at some point in the morning, as the sun was coming up, like it was like pawing on me, like making biscuits. And I was like, oh, God, shut up, shut up. And then it kind of leaves, and I look, and it pooped on my chest. And
Edith and I could not stop laughing.
yeah, I was like, I hate this guy.
So we like grabbed all of our stuff, and I think it had one of those gates, those like accordion gates on the storefront.
Right.
And we didn't lock anything up.
Yeah.
We didn't know. We just closed the gates.
Yeah.
And
And then
we
part of it is
never
what I
went
found out was that because it was cold, either you or Edith had shut a bathroom window that the cat was going in and out of to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
But then also when we saw the room during the day, we saw little things of cat poop all around.
It was disgusting. It was so disgusting. Who
And
put us there?
I can't remember.
That was wrong.
Yeah.
But at least we had a place to sleep.
Yes. And then we decided to go to some caverns.
Yes.
And a bat. No, wait. We went on a river walk in San Antonio, and then a bird pooped on me.
Mm-hmm.
The same, like within 2 hours.
Yeah, but that's good luck.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Anyways, so one of the films that we showed, and this was a longer film, but this is one that probably resonates with you.
Yes.
And I've shown this before, of course, because it's so good. It's 1970s on how to use a telephone. It's Telezonia. And you remember some of the songs, of course.
Pick up the phone as soon as it rings.
Nice. So here is Telezonia. Enjoy.
You didn't have to run, Joe. We'd have saved some ants for you. Hey, Joe, you want some ants? Where do you suppose they're going? Picnics. Ants go to picnics, my grandmother says. Picnics at Riverdale Park. Today, my uncle take us. Got free rides, free passes for rides. The roller coaster, the Dodger, free rides. Got passes from Carson's Hardware. Way to go! Can I bring my sister? Sure. My uncle says a man can take. My mom's making sandwiches when she knows how many are going. I'll go up and ask my mom if it's all right. I'll ask Ellen Greenberg. And Sandy. I'll ask Sandy. I'll go get my sister. My uncle wants to leave as soon as he can, so hurry. Hey, everybody, I thought of something. Why don't you come to our place and telephone? We'll telephone instead of running. Great idea. Let's go. Thanks a lot, Larry. Let's go. My folks always use the phone when they need it. It's faster. Sure beats running. Lisa, you go. I don't think Ellie can go today. Joe, you try. That's okay. Pa can go ahead of me. I'll call home.
My mother doesn't like me to use other people's phones. You get my mother on the phone, and I'll tell you what to say.
Oh, I remember. I hurt my finger. So do you want to try calling Sandy? I don't know how. I've never learned a phone. Me neither. Do you, Lisa?
Come on, we can still make it if we run. That old phone isn't good for anything anyway.
Look at the phone. It's like magic.
your voice where your friends can hear it. Put your voice in the phone, let the telephone steer it. Send your voice across the miles. Cheerful words are like friendly smiles.
Wow, it looks like a tunnel.
Where do you think it goes?
Who do you think is in there? Come on. Yeah. Give me a hand. Up to it.
Hi, everybody. I'm Telly.
Put your voice where your friends can hear it. Put your voice in the phone, let the telephone steer it. Send your voice across the miles. Cheerful words are like friendly smiles. Greet your pals in distant places. Pleasant voices, happy faces. Pleasant voices, happy faces.
Let's fly. Follow me.
Wow, we're flying. This is fun.
Rest stop, everybody. Rest stop. Can't fly the whole day long, you know.
Better than a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Now, let's take a look down there. That's one of our telephone company crews at work. In the center of big cities, where there are lots of telephones, the wires go underground. The two men are connecting new wires. A woman is a supervisor who helps them and makes sure the work is done properly.
Goodbye.
Now, we've still got a ways to go, so let's up and away.
But where are we going?
Telezonia.
Is that near Chicago? Will we be in time for lunch?
We'll be there soon.
Wow!
Something I want you to see. These are some of the people who speak for the telephone company. The operators. When you talk to the operator, you talk to a real person.
Please deposit 45 cents for the first 3 minutes.
Thank you for waiting. Go ahead, please.
Deposite 70 centavos por
And the operator helps you by giving you information.
That area code is 212, sir. I'm sorry?
And by connecting you to phones and to people you can't get by yourself.
Thank you, sir. Your party's on the line now. Go ahead, please.
You also talk to the operator in an emergency.
I'll connect you with the fire department right away.
Time to go, folks. Everybody.
But where are we going?
Telezonia is just down the line.
We're slowing down. Are we there? Is this Telezonia?
Not yet. There's someone else I'd like you to meet. Say hello to an old friend. Telephone company installer. Installers put in new telephones or take them out when you move. And if something needs fixing, they're the ones who come along to fix it for you.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, folks, next stop, Telezonia.
There's no handle.
Wait a minute, folks. Here's my magic spell. Stand back, everybody. Franklin, Faraday, Watson, Bell. Open, Telezonia. Put us under your spell.
Hey,
go, group. We've got a date at the Phonomat. This is a special place in Telezonia where we put telephones together. Now, there are many different kinds of phones in use in our country today.
There's the typical business phone.
There's one like that in the office where my mother works.
There's the wall telephone,
We have one like that in our kitchen wall.
the trim line phone,
My aunt has one like that.
and there's several others. And they each have the same kind of parts. A mouthpiece,
To talking to.
an earpiece,
We're listening.
a round dial or push button so that you can get the number you want. And wires and circuits and a bell inside.
They make the telephone work.
And a case to hold it all. Now, on the case, there's a cradle so that you can rest the handset when it's not in use. It's very important the phone handset always be in its cradle when it's not being used.
Or else your friends will not be able to call you.
Why are telephones in different colors?
What do the colors mean?
They're just pretty colors to match the colors of your house. But regardless of the color, they all work the same way.
Are we going to use a telephone while we're in Telezonia? Yeah!
Certainly! Come on, let's do that right now. How many of you would like to become full-fledged citizens of Telezonia? Raise your hands.
Yeah!
Here's the first requirement. You must know how to answer the telephone properly. Who knows just how that's done? Come on, speak up. Phone's ringing. It should be answered.
Do we have some questions here? And do we need some answers? How do you answer the phone? Is that a good question, or is it not? Let me see if I can answer it for you. Pick up the phone as soon as it rings. Speak out your name, or answer with things like, hello, good morning, this is Bill. Pick up the phone as soon as it rings, then you will know what message it brings. Now can you do it? Pick up the phone as soon as it rings. Speak out your name, or answer with things like,
Hello, Lisa talking.
pick up the phone as soon as it rings, then you will know what message it brings. Do you want to be next? Pick up the phone as soon as it rings. Speak out your name, or answer with things like,
Good morning, this is Larry.
pick up the phone as soon as it rings, then you will know what message it brings. Would you like to be next? Everybody sing, pick up the phone as soon as it rings. Speak out your name, or answer with things like, who's that?
Joe, look what you've done. That's not the right way to answer.
All right. Hello, this is Joe. Way to go, Joe.
Don't forget, if there's a telephone number for someone to call, be sure to write it down. Can you remember to write it down? Can you remember to write it down? Can you remember to write it down? And can you remember to write it down?
Over here, everybody. I want to show you something. Now, this is just like the dial on the telephone, except, of course, it's very much larger, and all the numbers and letters are mixed up. But I'm going to ask you to put them all in the right places. And you can use this phone right here as a guide.
But what for?
I knew you'd ask. It's like this.
You have to know your letters and your numbers up to 9. To call a friend who's at the other end of the line. You have to know your numbers and your letters from A to Z. To use the telephone and the telephone directory.
You have to know your numbers and your letters from A to Z. To use the telephone and the telephone directory.
You have to know your letters and your numbers up to 9. To call a friend who's at the other end of the line. You have to know your numbers and your letters from A to Z. To use the telephone and the telephone directory.
Everybody sing!
You have to know your numbers and your letters from A to Z. To use the telephone and the telephone directory.
What's the matter, folks? Got some left over?
Yeah, I got 2 letters with 2 same O's. And I got 2 I's.
Joe, your O's are different. Now, this round letter O goes right here after the N. And that tall number 0 for operator goes right here after the 9. Be sure you remember the difference. And Lisa, that number 1 goes right in the first circle. And that I goes right after what?
H.
Right. There you are.
I don't think the telephone company is very smart. He doesn't even know the alphabet. Some of the letters are missing.
Missing? Missing? There are letters missing? Well, how do you know?
I counted. There's only 24.
Yeah.
Well, who knows what letters are missing?
Q, there's no Q, the T, and the T, and the I.
Right.
And the Z isn't here at the end. The Q and Z are missing, all right.
We're not missing. We're just not on the dial.
But
We're in the telephone directory,
and you'll
use us in a while.
Here are all the country's telephone directories. Telephone books, we call them. Almost every telephone number is listed here. If you want to call anyone at all, just look up the number in the book for the city where the person lives.
Now, here's how to find a name. Now listen closely. All the names are always listed in order, like the alphabet. Now, if the last name begins with the letter A, like Adams, Anderson, Atkins, and so on, well, you'd find it in front of the book. It would then be followed by those names beginning with the letter B, and then all the C's, all the D's, and so on through the alphabet. Right?
Right.
Okay. Now, which name would come first in the book? Smith or Thompson?
Smith!
And would you find Wallace towards the back of the white pages or the front?
Back!
Good. Now, listen closely. All of the names that start with the same letter, like Adams, Anderson, Atkins, for example, are found in the A section. But to know exactly how to get there, you gotta know the second letter in each name. A.D. Adams comes before A.N. Anderson. A.N. Anderson comes before A.T. Atkins.
But what about people like Baker and Bass? They both start with B.A.
Right, Paul. And how do you decide which is first?
Go to the next letter, I guess.
Good. B.A.K. Baker comes before B.A.T. Bates because...
Because K comes before T in the alphabet.
Right.
Simple, isn't it? You've just learned how to find names and words alphabetically. It works the same in the telephone book, and in the dictionary, and in the encyclopedia, and in lots of other books. Come on.
Wait a minute. Here's 2 names exactly the same. John Mason, John Mason.
Do they live at the same place?
No, one is on Elm Street, the other is on River Road.
Well, that's how you know they're not the same. Now, when you look up a name in the phone book, make sure you know, too, where the person lives.
In the front of every phone book is lots of useful information. How to call the sheriff, the fire department, the police, what number to call to have your phone repaired, and how much it costs to call outside your city.
But how do I find the number of my school?
Well, schools are usually listed first by the name of your city or county, and then alphabetically by name.
Look, some of these pages are yellow.
In the yellow pages, the telephone numbers are listed according to various businesses. You can find accountants, barbers, ice cream makers, movie theaters, plumbers, toy stores, any business with a phone. They're listed alphabetically by business
in the yellow pages. Take your time. Practice looking up friends or people you or your parents know in business. Write down their numbers and keep a list of the ones you use most often.
Say, here's Ellen Greenberg's number. She lives down the street from me on the View Park. I know her father's name's Albert.
Oh, what's her number?
555-0926. Can I call her? We wanted to go on a picnic with her. That's right. We want to call our friends.
Okay.
I think I found Sandy's number.
Good.
And I want to call home.
Okay, then. Let's go!
Yeah!
Hey, kids, over here! I want to show you something! We are definitely, positively, absolutely going to learn to make a call. Right now, pick up the handset, that's the first part, listen for the tone, and then start. Put your finger in the circle of the number you need. Turn the dial to the right with a little bit of speed. Turn the dial to the right till your finger goes no more. Take your finger out, it'll go to where it was before. And when you finished all the numbers, you'll hear it ring. That's how you do the telephone thing. Okay, you first. Got your number? Make your call and be sure to wait for at least 10 rings for someone to answer me before you hang up. Of course, use this phone with a touch-tone dial. It's easy. Instead of a round dial, there are buttons. Just push each button in turn. Let's try. Pick up the handset. That's the first part. Listen for the tone. And then start. Push the buttons down with the number you want, or the button by the letters if the letters are in front. And when you've finished all the numbers, you'll hear it ring. That's how you do the telephone thing.
There's a funny noise.
Well, that's the busy signal. It means somebody else is using the line. Hang up, wait a while, and try again.
Meanwhile, you use this instrument here. It's a payphone. Got any coins in your pocket? Give it a try.
Need some help?
Young fella.
Here's a couple of coins.
So you can make
Your call.
This is a public telephone.
That you have to pay to use.
Like paying admission to the movies.
It's not like a vending machine.
You don't get any change back.
You must have the right coins.
Lift the handset.
Drop the coins right into the slot.
Listen for the tone before you start. Put your finger in the circle of the number you need. Turn the dial to the right with a little bit of speed. Turn the dial to the right till your finger goes no more. Take your finger out. The dial will go to where it was before. And when you're finished all the numbers, you'll hear it ring. That's how you do the telephone thing.
Hi, Sammy. This is Joe. You want to go on a picnic with us? Good. Be at Larry's house as quick as you can. Great. Bye.
Can I make my call now?
Sure, use this phone here.
Are you ready? Put your finger in the circle of the number you need. Turn the dial to the right with a little bit of speed. Turn the dial to the right till your finger goes no more. Take your finger out. The dial will go to where it was before. And when you're finished all the numbers, you'll hear it ring. That's how you do the telephone thing.
Hello, Mom. May I go on a picnic with Joe and his uncle? Sis can come too. Have her go to Larry's house right away. Goodbye.
Wait! Stop! I got to say goodbye! I can go!
We better call for help.
Here's some coins. Put them in. Dial 0 for operator. And report an emergency.
We have an emergency. There's been an accident. The ex-mason has fallen and hurt himself. Send help, please.
Now, tell them who you are and where you are.
This is Joe Armstrong, and we're in the main square of Telezonia. The operator wants to know our number.
It's right in the center of the round dial, or if you're calling from a touch-tone dial, it's right at the bottom of the keyboard.
555-2368. Well, bye.
Now stay by the phone in case they call back for more information or for better directions.
Stick out your tongue. How do you feel?
Much better, Doc.
He's all right now.
Good going, crew. Public phones should never be played with or damaged because you never know. Someone might want to make a call to help you someday. Oh, I almost forgot. As a reward for your service, I hereby make you all honorary citizens of Telezonia. And issue you each a passport, good for any time for proper use of the telephone. Hey, now you better be going, or you'll miss your picnic.
Take care of yourself.
Come on, let's go.
Hi, Ellen.
Hi, sis.
Hi, Sandy. Hurry up, Joe. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Larry, can I use you? Hello, Mom. This is Joe. Yeah, Uncle Ed is here. But I gotta ask you something really important. What are we having for dinner tonight? Oh, that. Oh well, what else are we having? Well, can I eat supper with Uncle Ed? Gee, thanks, Mom. Bye.
Put your voice where your friends can hear it. Put your voice in the phone, let the telephone steer it. Send your voice across the miles. Cheerful words are like friendly smiles. Greet your pals in distant places. Pleasant voices happy.
All right, so you remember that film.
Absolutely. Love that film.
So interesting things about that film. Robert Towers played Telly, and I put a link to his IMDb page on the comments. And one of the performances that he did, which I recommend, is he plays this demented jockey on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh,
and
really?
it was hilarious. I was watching it. I was like, oh my God, it's Telly. So look that clip up. The other thing is, we're big fans of this film, obviously.
Mhm.
Another really big fan of this film is Greg Turkington, who does On Cinema at the Cinema. And he thinks he has found the house. It's kind of close to where he lives in California, in LA. And I think the person who wrote the music, I could be getting this totally wrong, but I feel like it was somebody in Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
You're spreading rumors now.
No, yeah, I could be. I mean, we could go back through the credits and figure it out. But it's somebody in a band of that ilk from the 70s who wrote all these songs. And so this is one of the main reasons I like collecting films, is because everything that this film teaches is very different now.
Oh, yeah.
Like the whole thing about, cell phones.
Right.
The
Don't pick up the phone.
No.
Do not.
The whole thing about the letters associated with the numbers, that kind of came back. Like, they never really explained why there's letters on the dial.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And-
Abbreviated townships, right?
Yeah, or you would use it to, like KL, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Right. By the way, Gigi, can you come back
Yeah.
and maybe you can bring your phone with you?
Yeah.
And demonstrate.
Bring in some youth culture.
A few things that you've
some
learned.
Generation Z.
All right, here she comes.
Are you Generation Z? Which one are you?
Indeed, I believe so. 2005.
All right.
All right, now, show them your phone, Gigi.
Oh, look at that. I love it.
The Barbie phone.
Wow, and it's retro. Even with its case, it looks retro.
That's right.
So you used to play this disc for your girls.
I did.
Yeah.
Here come the ABCs and this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And Mary Poppins, I think you also did.
No, Sound of Music.
Sound of Music, right.
Yeah, Lola watched that like
And Quasi at the Quackadero as well.
Yeah.
But Andrea, I appreciate you being on the show.
Of course.
And I appreciate you because you know, Aurora is of course one of the muses, and you were one of the muses.
Oh, that's right.
And so you were definitely one of the muses that got me thinking outside of doing shows in, you know, crappy venues or in my house, and actually touring and showing things and thinking about a world outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. And so thank you for that.
And thank you for introducing me to novelty around films and audience participation and giveaways and how to entertain people when a film breaks or jams in the projector.
Right.
All of those things about like activating audiences at Aurora, game playing, and just fun in general really came from Skip.
Well, thank you. Yeah. So everybody, if you like what you saw, donate coffee. William donated some coffee, so thank you. He went to ko-fi.com/avgeeks.
That's tea, but
That's fine, whatever. I'll buy tea sometimes too. You can go to patreon.com/avgeeks. You can hit the like, the subscribe button. All of these are great ways to support us. And we will see you again very soon, tomorrow in fact, where I'll be back at the archive and we'll show some films on film. All right. Everybody take care, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.